and eminent personality, Dr. Gurpreet Singh Lahal. Dr. Lahal is the professor in Computer Science Department of Punjabi University and is also director of the Advanced Center for Technical Development of Punjabi Language, Literature, and Culture. He is also the director of Center for Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. It gives me immense pleasure to inform you all that Dr. Lahal is also the member of our academic council, and his invaluable inputs are helping us in growing from leaps and bounds. I also want to add here that on the advice of Dr. Lahal, we have started the course of BSc Artificial Intelligence and Data Science and also MSc Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, and students are gaining a lot of knowledge from these courses. Thank you very much, sir, for helping us in this way. Dr. Lahal has published more than 63 papers in international journals and has guided more than 21 PhD students on various topics. Now, it is up to Dr. Lahal, who is giving keynote address on the title Artificial Intelligence and its Impact on Our Daily Life. Now it is up to you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Jasveer Singh, Principal, Khalsa College, Anandpur Sahib, for giving me this opportunity. It's an honor for me to be a keynote speaker in this prestigious 25th Punjab Science Congress. So today, I'll be talking about artificial intelligence and its impact on our daily life. We are now entering the era of artificial intelligence, and its importance has dramatically increased over the course of last few years. But still, there are many people who may assume that artificial intelligence or AI has nothing to do with them, and it is only something that the big tech giants are focused on, and AI doesn't impact their everyday life. But the fact is that even though it's not obvious, artificial intelligence is probably a part of our daily life in a number of ways. Already, artificial intelligence is surrounding us in our devices, cars, and homes. I'll just explain with a simple example. For example, somebody wants to know about Khalsa College in Anandpur Sahib, say for taking admission, or one wants to visit over there, then what is the easiest way to know the information about the colleges? You just go to one of the search engine, probably Google, because that's the most popular search engine. You just type the name, and then as you can see, the search engine actually visits thousands, even not even thousand lakhs of websites and millions of documents, and from those it extracts the knowledge, and that is using the artificial intelligence only, that in the twinkling of a second it has come up with the all the websites and links which are related to Khalsa College. And as you see, I intentionally had, say, wrongly typed college also as COLLGE instead of COLLEG, and it corrected that mistake also. So this is the first simple example of how in our daily life we are using artificial intelligence. And supposing after that, say I'm staying in Patiala, and I want to know that how much time it will take for me to reach Anandpur Sahib, then I again just write this question on a search engine: how far is Patiala to Anandpur Sahib? And as you can see quickly, it has given me that 2 hours 15 minutes by car. And supposing now I sit in my car and I'm on the way to the college, then obviously to know the route, I just switch on my GPS, and my GPS will actually be not only be giving me the map, but it will also be guiding me through voice commands of how to quickly reach in the shortest time the college. So this is this voice assistance, which is again known as text-to-speech synthesis, is again a part of artificial intelligence only. And on the way, suppose you come across some of the toll tax barrier, then again you'll see that when you stop, you have a camera which will be automatically taking the picture of a license plate, and automatically it will be converting that license plate number into the database. So over here, from the image, it has converted this to text. So this is again an application of artificial intelligence under the field of computer vision and OCR. And maybe on the way, I am using my mobile phone also for, say, typing something. Again, over there you will see what is known as a predictive text, where you type a few characters and it gives me the complete word, or it quickly corrects my mistake. So that is also part of the artificial intelligence. Then I may give my commands in spoken form, and I might also get the output in spoken form. So that is also due to artificial intelligence only. And maybe I use my Facebook or any of the social media account. Over there also, while you are browsing the post, at the back end you have artificial intelligence which is working behind the scenes to personalize what you see on the feeds. It's figuring out also the friend suggestions, and it is also identifying and filtering out fake news. And machine learning is being used at the back end to prevent cyberbullying. So that means even though it's not known to you, but at the back end we have lot of applications of artificial intelligence which are running while we are browsing one of the social media website. And maybe in your home also now we have many devices which are using artificial intelligence. One of the example is the TV. So as you must have seen, many of you must be having a TV where on the remote control itself you will be speaking the name of the channel or a movie or song, and automatically it will quickly recognize, so you don't even need to type it. So this is another application of artificial intelligence. And then maybe when you want to watch some web series or movie, again over there, say if supposing you go to Netflix, over there again at the back end there is artificial intelligence which will be suggesting you. In fact, the recommendation of engine of Netflix is very powerful, which is powered by artificial intelligence, and it uses your past viewing history as well as the watching history of other users with similar tastes as yours, and then it delivers the suggestions. And it is estimated that 80% of what you are watching is what has been driven by the Netflix recommendation only. Similarly, now we have washing machines also which are using artificial intelligence to identify the type of fabrics, and based on the fabric they will be determining which load and what will be the washing cycle. And then I was just looking, now we even have artificial intelligence enabled smart cars which can automatically park themselves in the garage. I was just looking at one of the video where on the mobile app, once the driver got off, he just switched the app to give command to the car to park itself in the garage, in the parking station itself, and then it browsed its way through all the lanes and it looked for the first vacant slot and it automatically parked over there. And when the driver came back, again he used the app and the car itself came back from the parking station to pick up the driver. So these are actually some of the very commonly used applications of artificial intelligence in our daily life. So now the question is, what is this artificial intelligence? In fact, there are many different definitions, but I will be taking the first two definitions. One is by John McCarthy, the person who had actually coined this term in 1956. So according to him, artificial intelligence is the science engineering of making intelligent machines. Or there's another very relevant definition. It is science of making machines to do things that would require intelligence if they're done by men. So what is an intelligent machine then? So intelligent machine is a machine with the capability to communicate with the outside world. So just like by using, say, speech recognition or speech synthesis, adapting, reasoning, and providing the solutions. In fact, artificial intelligence has been with us for more than 65 years. And initially when artificial intelligence came into existence, then there was a lot of optimism. It was thought that in next 10 years, we'll make a lot of progress in artificial intelligence. And in fact, one of the earliest such application was your machine translation system. And it was thought that in next 10 years, we would be making very powerful machine translation system for, say, translation from English to Russian and reverse. But people had not anticipated what are the challenges with artificial intelligence and this natural language processing. And in fact, after the initial hype, then we had what is known as AI winter, where from 60s to 70s, all the funding actually flows for artificial intelligence because it was found that it is not meeting the expected targets. Then again, we had artificial intelligence winters in 80s and 90s. But it's only recently, say in last 10-15 years, when deep learning technology has matured, that now we have very powerful applications which are based on artificial intelligence. So we now quickly look at some of the technologies which really startled the world and which gave the indication that now the artificial intelligence technology has matured. So first was when in 1997, actually, first time the computer beat the human being in chess. It was thought that actually chess is a game which really requires intelligence and no human being could be beaten. But in 1997, the IBM's Deep Blue had defeated Garry Kasparov, who is considered one of the greatest chess player in by winning 4 matches to 1. And after that, actually now no human being is powerful enough to beat the computer. So that was the first milestone which was achieved. And then another bigger milestone was in the game Go. In fact, Go is considered to be the most complex game as far as intelligence is concerned. And in fact, it had been a price of $1 million had been announced that whoever can uh, develop a software where the computer can defeat a human being in Go, so he'll be offered $1 million. And it was thought that it will take at least up to 2020, it will take at least those many years to come up with that software. But suddenly in 2016, Google developed the AlphaGo software, which defeated the reigning champion at that time, human being, some Mr. Lee. So he was defeated in all the 5 games. And interestingly, after that, this software, this program AlphaGo, it trained it on itself. And once it trained on itself, so it became so powerful that even it beat the initial program by 100 to 1 times. So these, as far as game playing is concerned, the intelligent games, now we have very powerful programs developed using artificial intelligence, which can beat the human beings. The next, another milestone achieved was in 2011, when IBM Watson had defeated human champion in the Jeopardy. So what happens in Jeopardy is you are given some answer and you have to frame the question. Obviously, it requires a lot of knowledge as well as understanding of the language. For example, one of the answer was Vedic dating back at least 4000 is the earliest dialect of this classical language of India. So this was the answer, and you had to judge the question. And the program IBM Watson quickly came out with the question as, "What is Sanskrit?" So again, that was a big achievement when a computer had defeated the champion in Jeopardy also. Then obviously we all have seen Alexa, where you just give the commands and it obeys them. So this is another milestone. Another milestone is the driverless cars, which were actually launched in 2012, and now we see that after 10 years, the technology has matured. Though still it is not commercially available in all the cities of North America, but still in some of the cities, these are becoming very popular. And in fact, it is said that till now, the number of accidents by these driverless cars are very few as compared to the cars which are driven by the drivers. Then in 2015, in one of the competition, it was found that human being was not able to recognize objects. These were the 1,000 objects, the one I'm showing the screen, and you had to recognize what is the object shown over there. In fact, the human being had made 5.1% errors, while the best of the computer software which was developed by Microsoft, it reported lesser error. It was lesser than even 5%. Then similarly in 2016, actually, one of the computer program had even written a novel, and the name of the novel was The Day a Computer Writes a Novel, and it was even sent for literary award, and it even in fact crossed the first round. Then Sophia, you all must have heard, the first robot which has been given the nationality by UA in 2017. Then in 2018, interestingly, one of the AI program had created a portrait. It trained itself on 15,000 portraits, and from that training itself, it created a portrait which was auctioned in one of the museum, and it actually fetched a prize money of 4.32 lakhs. Then in 2018, AI in fact even defeated the human doctors in tests to diagnose the tumors. In fact, there was a test where we had 15 of the top Chinese doctors. They want to contest against BioMind software program to diagnose the brain tumors. And BioMind was correct in 87% of the cases, while in 66% of the cases, the best doctors were successful. And BioMind it took almost lesser than even half of the time which was taken by the doctors. And in fact, interestingly, in 2020, even one of the computer program had written an essay also. So, and if you read the essay, you can't even judge if the essay has been written by a human being or by a software. The essay was, "I have no desire to wipe out humans." For example, these are just the first few lines of the essay. "I am not a human, I'm a robot, a thinking robot. I use only 0.12% of my cognitive capacity," and so on. So this essay, once you read it, nobody can judge if it has been written by a human being or by a software. So artificial intelligence, it could be classified into computer vision, cognitive intelligence, general intelligence, and intelligent robots. So recognition intelligence actually means making the computers understand images and videos. In fact, 50% of cerebral cortex is for vision only. So it's very important that if supposing computers, they gain the intelligence which is at par as far as viewing the objects is concerned, then obviously the computers are quite intelligent. For example, given this scene, if you just if the computer is able to tell what this kind of scene, how many cars are there, where they are standing, how many trees are there, and so on, so that is actually part of the recognition intelligence. But it is not so easy. In fact, it was for many years, it was not even possible for many of the computers to tell that is there a cat in this picture or not. As I mentioned, it's only in the last few years actually we have made a lot of progress. Recently, even after say 2010, it was not possible for many of the software to tell that is there a cat present in this picture or not. Why this is so? Because human being sees the picture while the computer sees only numbers. So from the numbers, actually, it has to generate the images. But still, now, as I mentioned, a lot of work has been done. So some of the fields in which work has been done is OCR, handwriting recognition, object recognition, face recognition, medical imaging. So OCR is you convert a image into text. One of the application, as I already told you, the automatic license plate reading. In fact, now we have very powerful OCRs. For example, Google has come up with the OCR which can recognize 248 languages with very high accuracy. And obviously, that has many applications, which one of the application we already saw. And then even for handwriting recognition also, we have now very powerful handwriting recognition systems. For example, this is one page of handwriting, which at many points even the human beings may get stuck. But below I have just written the text which was recognized by Google Docs. I had given this image and I had got this output. So as you can see, it has quite correctly, even though some of the mistakes it has made, but even human beings can make. For example, in this, even the last word is straight and it was able to identify it correctly. So even handwriting recognition, actually now the technology has matured and even this handwriting was even more complex. But I found that the computer, though it had made mistakes, but even a normal human being will be making more mistakes because this is a very badly written page. Similarly, online also we find that we have very powerful online handwriting recognition systems. And as I mentioned, there are numerous applications in our daily life. For example, if you want to digitize a book, so supposing you have a book of say 300 pages, then using OCR, where you have this scanner which has two cameras attached, it will be quickly scanning all the pages and converting it to text. And so in a matter of few hours, the complete book will be converted to text form. Then this is, as I already mentioned, for license plate reading. Then object recognition, as I mentioned, that given a image or a video, you have to recognize the objects. For example, over here you want to categorize where are the mountains, where are the trees and buildings and banners and so on. So this is known as our object recognition, and computers have made a lot of progress in object recognition. And similarly, we have face recognition, where given a picture, first it has to detect that is there a human face, and if it is, then it has to identify the face. Again, as far as face recognition is concerned, we have very powerful face recognition system which have more than 98% accuracy. Now we just look at some of the practical applications where they are used. For example, in biometrics, you must have seen even in a PC also, you could log in by recognizing a face. So over there, it is using at the back end the face recognition application. Similarly, for video surveillance also, where is supposing some crime takes place, then from the CCTV camera, it can then capture the videos, and from the videos, then it can capture the faces, and then it could automatically compare them with the faces of some of the criminals, so that it can quickly identify that if the crime has been committed by one of the known criminal, then it can very quickly identify the criminal. Then you must have seen in digital camera also, when you try to take a picture, then face detection actually focuses on the face, so that it takes a more clear picture of that. Then another application of object recognition is in driverless cars, where the car, it has to identify the lanes, it has to identify the objects. So all that is done. And once till you don't have a powerful object recognition system, obviously you can't have driverless car. So if we are having driverless car, that means we have really made very powerful object recognition systems. Then even in another interesting application is image searching. For example, I had one image and I was not sure that where this picture had been taken. So in Google, you can also search for the images. So I just uploaded my image, and it quickly told me that this picture has been taken at Uluota temple. And another practical application is automatic image captioning. So you give an image, so obviously first it will recognize the objects over there, and it will then give a suitable caption. For example, this caption has been given by the computer only. So a group of giraffes standing in a grassy area. Similarly, this one, a cute little dog sitting in the hard drawn on a sandy beach. So it could identify that this is a dog, this is the heart shape, and this is the beach. And there was another quite interesting application where you switch on your mobile, and when you run that application, the camera, it is capturing all the objects around, and it is then speaking out that what objects it can see. So it is a very useful application for visually handicapped. So they can just switch on their mobiles, and it will be telling them and warning them of all the objects which it comes across. Another application is by Amazon. What they have is cashierless Go store. I think I'll just like to play one or two such videos so that you have better idea. So in this cashierless Go store, what happens is, in this store, you don't have any employee. You just walk in, you pick up the things, and you go out, and the money will automatically be charged from your from a card, and it knows that what objects you have picked. So I think I'll be playing this image, this video, so that it becomes more, the example becomes more clear. I have a few videos also, so I thought that for better illustration, I'll be playing them.
Stuff in my pockets at an Amazon Go store. But before you make any assumptions, you should know this. This is exactly what you're supposed to do here. Because at this store, there are no cashiers. And whatever you walk out with, you're just charged automatically.
Today I've come to the Amazon Go store, and I'm the only one here, because nobody really works here. Here's how it works.
The retail store uses cameras and weight to know if an item is taken.
Which includes computer vision, sensor function, and deep learning.
So this was just an example of object recognition, where automatically it can know what objects you have picked, and it will be automatically charging. Just one or two more videos just I would like to share.
Let's take a ride on the Waymo. Driverless. afternoon, John. This file is all yours with no one up front.
All right, let's go.
Head into Prices 2. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened. For any questions, press the help button to speak with the rider support agent.
These were just two examples of practical applications of object recognition. The cashierless ghost store, then the driverless cars. Then we have cognitive intelligence, which includes game playing, natural language processing, remembering things, solving problems, and making decisions. I'll quickly, game playing, we had already seen where intelligent games are being played by the computers where even the best of the human beings can't match them. But there is one very important field which is a natural language processing. So natural language processing means processing of the human languages by the computer so that it can speak in our language and it can understand it, and it can also we speak in our language and it can hear and make out the meaning from that. So that is known as natural language processing. So obviously natural language processing, the first important technology is our speech recognition. And in fact, till 2015, we did not have powerful speech recognition system, but now we have developed very powerful speech recognition system, which can, in fact, recognize more than 110 languages, including Hindi. And for English, it can identify 13 different dialects also, including the Indian English, and 21 dialects of Spanish also. So without training, actually, it can understand. So obviously, this is a very big milestone which was achieved in speech recognition. Then similarly, we have other technologies for artificial intelligence which have been developed in natural language processing, spelling and grammar checking, then machine translation. Machine translation, we all are using the machine translation tools available on Facebook or on Google or even by Microsoft, where now we have seen in last 5-6 years, in fact, the translation accuracy has really jumped. Even though it can't match the human being, but still the translation accuracy is now very good. For example, just a few examples just to show the complexity involved over there and the achievement. For example, this is in English and this was translated into Punjabi by Google. My favorite movies are Mother India and A Wednesday. Actually, over here, it cannot translate the name of the movies. So but we found it did it very correctly. So it translated as Meri Pasandida Filma Mother India te A Wednesday instead of saying Bharat Mata or Ik Budwar. So similarly, this is for further information, please contact gsl@gmail.com. So gsl@gmail.com has to be left as such. So it did it correctly. Similarly, my mouse is not working. So it wrote it as Mera mouse kam nahi kar raha, and the cat ran after the mouse. It wrote Billi chuhe de piche bhaji. So this is quite a big achievement which was not thinkable 5 years ago. Other applications of natural language processing are automatic text classification. We have already seen whenever you get an email, it can quickly categorize if it is a spam mail or a normal mail. So that comes under text classification. Then text summarization, where supposing you have a book of say consisting of say 100 pages and you want it to be summarized to say 5 or 10 pages, that can be automatically done. Then information retrieval, we have already seen in search engines where you pose any question or you give any keyword and it retrieves the relevant documents. Then automated plagiarism detection, then text-to-speech synthesis, we have already seen that. Then, as I mentioned, natural language processing is a subfield of artificial intelligence, which has a lot of practical applications in our daily life. For example, as one example, I already told you about translation, but combined with other technologies, we can have even better applications. For example, you can completely translate an image into another language. So this is in, for example, exit over here is written in English. And if you just place the camera over there, it recognizes exit, and then it translates it to nikah. Similarly, this is in Russian. You can read it in English. I won't be playing this video because I think I'm running out of time. So actually, this is a very interesting video where the robo can write in your own handwriting. You just give 2 pages of text to it in your writing, and it learns it, and then surprisingly, it writes in such a handwriting that it's even difficult for you to know that if it has been written by you or by the robo. Then we have translation devices also for travelers, where you speak in your language, the other person will hear in his language. So for example, you are in China, you speak in English, the person will hear your voice in Chinese, you speak in Chinese, and you'll get back your output in English. Similarly, we have face-to-face translation, where besides translating the text and the voice, it also actually synchronizes the lip movement also. So actually, this is very useful for your automatic dubbing of the movie. So for example, if you have a movie in English, so the software will automatically be converting the voices from English to Hindi, and it will also be synchronizing the lip movement also, so that it doesn't look unnatural. Then we have already seen these Alexa. Then we have intelligent robots also. So I'd just like to quickly go through some of these. Sophia, I already told you. Then this is an interesting robot which is used for hiring humans. And then these are some of the robots which are newsreaders in China. And in fact, you can't even think or make out that is it a robot or is it an actual human being. Then we have also robots for cooking the meals also. And it was quite interesting to see how this robot cooks the meal and even washes the utensils. Then we have robots being used in agriculture also for automatic plucking of, say, berries, automatic spraying the insecticide, and so on. So these are, and all of these are actually using artificial intelligence. But one thing you might have observed when I'm discussing these is they are also taking off the jobs which are being done by the human beings. For example, in case of driverless cars, the job of the driver is at risk. Similarly, in the cashierless shops, the job of the cashier is at stake. Similarly, when I was talking about this newsreader or automatic robots for hiring, over there also the jobs of those persons are at stake. Similarly, automatic cooking, and even when they are being used in agriculture. So this is one of the negative impact also which we can think of, the jobs which are at risk when you are using the artificial intelligence robots over there. Then in education also, artificial intelligence plays a very important role. For example, you could use machine translation to translate the lectures. Then you could use speech recognition to convert the spoken lectures into text. And then another interesting application is speech-to-speech translation. For example, you have a lecture by a MIT professor from MIT, and this speech-to-speech translation will actually convert the complete video lecture from English to Hindi. And in fact, Government of India is also developing one such system, and they have kept aside a huge budget for that, where given any video in one of the language, it will be converted into all the other regional languages of India. Then automatic subtitling also, this I found in my Microsoft 365, where while I was speaking, automatically it was giving the caption in Hindi. Punjabi it is not supporting, but it is automatically giving the caption in Hindi. This is intelligent tutoring. I won't be playing this video because I think I don't have much time left. Then artificial intelligence also plays a role in healthcare also. For example, in diagnosis of diseases, one example I already told you, where it had to detect from the image the tumors, and over there human beings were beaten by the computer. So in cancer classification also they are being used, and now we also have robots which are being used for robotic surgery. And in fact, Google AI is also being used to predict heart problems by just scanning the eye. Then another important aspect is the economic impact of artificial intelligence. In fact, artificial intelligence can transform the productivity and GDP of the global economy. And according to an analysis, global GDP will be up by 14% higher in 2030 as a result of the development and take up of AI. And in fact, as you can see, these are the regions actually which will be gaining by the usage of AI. And in fact, as you can see, the biggest gainer will be China, according to the analysis. So China actually, it is thought that its GDP will rise by 26% due to the adaptability of AI. Similarly, North America, its GDP will rise by 14%, while for other countries which are slower in adopting the AI, which include India also, the GDP will not rise so much. But, and in fact, China is actually heavily investing in AI. China aims to become the world's primary AI innovative center by 2030. And for that, it is spending heavily on AI research and development. And in fact, China has the most number of patents for AI, followed by US. In fact, 64% of the patents for AI are by China only. And as far as research papers are concerned, over there also, China is publishing the maximum number of research papers in AI. And that's why it is investing heavily in R&D and research projects for AI, and it hopes to gain in terms of GDP, as I already told you, the economic benefit of AI. So these are some of the obviously positive applications of AI in our daily life, but there are a few controversies also. One of those I just touched, that is your job scenario. In fact, this AI period is also known as the fourth industrial revolution. The third one was automated when computers came into existence. First was mechanical production took place in 1784. Then the second was when electricity was used. Third was when computers came. In fact, as many of you must be remembering, when computers came into popular usage in 80s and 90s, then again there was a lot of hue and cry that our jobs will be gone. But we find actually the jobs don't go. It's only that you shift the jobs. So from mechanical, you shifted to automated. Similarly, over here also, even though it's estimated by one of the report that by 2030, 30% of the world's human labor will be done by robots only. And in fact, they say that there will be displacement of 40 to 80 crore of jobs by 2030. But this doesn't mean that all of them will become unemployed, but it is a warning sign that actually it's high time that we also have to adapt according to AI. In fact, some of these jobs which are at risk are data keeping, customer interaction, call centers, and all of the jobs which have predictable, highly routine tasks. For example, assembly line workers, agriculture workers, drivers, etc. But as I already told you, even though AI will eliminate job, but it will create some demand for some new positions. So it is for our benefit who are working in those areas which are at risk that we upgrade our skills to match the new requirements of AI. Then there is another controversy regarding to AI, and that concern is the development of intelligent weapons. And this is also known as the third revolution in warfare. The first revolution was the invention of gunpowder. The second was nuclear weapons. And now the usage of artificially intelligent weapons or autonomous weapons. This is the third revolution in warfare, and this is thought to be the most dangerous. In fact, one such example is this, which I'm showing on the screen, which is Israeli drone named as Harpy. It has been programmed to fly to a particular area, hunt for specific targets, and then destroy them using high explosive warhead nicknamed Fire and Forget. So it will actually keep on waiting for the target and looking for the proper opportunity, and then it will destroy it. And in fact, so these autonomous intelligent weapons are actually very dangerous. They are already a clear and present danger and will become more intelligent, lethal, and accessible at an alarming speed. So these autonomous weapons are the AI application that most clearly and deeply conflict with the morals and could threaten the humanity. So this is an area of concern. Then there is another area, which is speech imitation and deepfake by computers. In fact, AI could be used to impersonate people also. In 2016, Adobe had presented a system which could replicate the voice of a person after listening to him for about 20 minutes. Then it will start speaking in the human voice of that person only, just as I mentioned about the handwriting. And even more dangerous thing is what is known as our deep fake. So deep fake is where the artificial neural networks are used to manipulate the videos. Over here, I'll just like to give an example of two videos to quickly show the danger we have as far as deep fake is concerned. No, actually over here, only one of this is the original lady, while the other lady has been created by the computer by superimposing the picture of that lady. But it is very difficult to judge that which is the real one and which is the fake one. And even one more dangerous video is this one, which I'll just show.
Like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or how about this? Simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things. At least not in the public address. But someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust.
Actually, what you can see is this is not President Obama, but this is this actor Jordan Peele. So actually, he had spoken these words, and later on, using deep fake, it appeared as if all this is being spoken by President Obama. So this is a very dangerous thing. So this is a big danger of this technology being misused. In fact, deepfake technology could be used to generate false news reports, influence public recourse, and even attempt to blackmail. So even though most of the previous deepfakes have been detected, the sophistication of the technology is progressing to the point that it may soon be capable of fooling even the forensic analysis tools. So this is again a big concern for all. Just hold on. Just 1 minute. So with this now, I come to the conclusion of today's talk. So we had seen that there are so many amazing ways in which artificial intelligence is being used behind the scenes to impact our everyday lives. In fact, it touches almost every aspect of our lives, as it can mimic the human speech, translate languages, diagnose diseases, draft even documents, and play intelligent games. Our daily life is being significantly impacted by AI. While there will be many learning experiences and challenges to be faced as the technology rolls out into new applications, the expectations are that AI will generally have a more positive than negative impact on the society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this informative lecture. We must have gained something from the lecture. The impact effects of artificial intelligence, all these things are very important in our life, especially in daily life. Thank you very much, sir, for this lecture. Now, I request College Principal Dr. Jasveer Singh to formally thank our keynote speaker, Dr. Gurpreet Singh Lahal. now it's over to Dr. Jasveer Singh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gurpreet Singh Lehal ji. Dr. Gurpreet Singh Lehal ਸਾਡੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਪਾਰਟ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਰਟੀਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦਾ ਡੇਲੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਵਿੱਚ ਯੂਜ਼ ਤੇ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਈਵਲੀ ਢੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਪੈਂਟਸ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਸਰ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀ ਆਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਕੀਨੋਟ ਸਪੀਚ ਸੀ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਪੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ, ਲਿਸਨਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਈ ਹੋਏਗੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਟ ਕਰੇਗੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਵੇਂ ਰਾਹ ਦੱਸੇਗੀ। ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਪੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫੇਰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ। ਡਾਕਟਰ ਗੁਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਲਹਿਲ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਪੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਆਰਟੀਫਿਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਫੀਲਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੰਟਰੀਬਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਹੈ। ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਰਟੀਫਿਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਇਨੈਗੁਰਲ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀਨੋਟ ਸਪੀਕਰ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਾਣ ਵਧਾਇਆ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਬਣਾਇਆ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਸਰ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ
ਜੀ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸਰ।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now I'd invite Dr. Sangeet Kumar to give further instructions to our participants. Dr. Sangeet Kumar.
Thank you very much, Professor Dilsherveer Singh ji. Dear participants, after this we will resume back at 12:30 p.m. for the technical session. The link for joining the technical session has been already shared in the schedule, and the link will be active from 12:30 p.m. onwards. All participants are hereby requested to join their respective sessions 10 minutes before the beginning of session. In case you need any kind of help, you may contact the moderators for your respective sessions. Thank you very much.
So thank you all. We all will meet in the upcoming sessions. Thank you very much.